today I'm cycling up to Birmingham along the Birmingham to Worcester Canal. I normally go south down to Worcester, but I thought today I'll go a route I've never been before, up to Birmingham and see what it's like. First bit is just up the Tardebigge Locks. I put the tyres to 35 psi today. So I'd like it to be a little bit more comfortable. And double tap one by when it's set up well is lovely. Get to a hill, change 3 gears and just one swoosh of the lever, so you can start going up something like this before changing and think, get halfway up, you know, oh no, another one, oh no, another one. Come out a little bit later today, so there's more people on the canal. So the Tardebigge Locks done. It's going past now Tardebigge Wharf, and got the Tardebigge Tunnel up here. Have to go over across a busy road, a really very busy road, so be quite careful on that. And down to Alvechurch. Stretch of canal this is, just going up towards the fields that pass over another tunnel towards Alvechurch. But it's a little bit technical, a little bit challenging. You're always very close to the edge. Well, you can row back there anyway. This bit here we go up into a field, through some woods, back down the other side. I think it's a bit easier this way than it is the other way. The opportunity to do a bit of what have I done to my bike since I've had it new. So I'll start with the front. Original wheels, the Fulcrum 900 DB, the OEM wheels. They're heavy, but they're fine. I'll upgrade them at some point. I've put some Schwalbe tubeless rim tape on, and now running WTB Nano 40mm tubeless with some Stan's tyre sealant in there. The stem, I flipped it because where it was too low down to get a frame bag, to get a handlebar bag in there, and it was dragging on the wheel. So it's actually, this bike has a really low stack height anyway at the front, so bringing it up, just, I mean, it's still some saddle to bar drop there anyway. I've got an Edge 520 plus on there for finding my way. There, so I can fit a frame bag in. Bike, I've put a dropper on the dropper to get that bottle cage right in, and that's a side exit bottle cage. Forgo that one because the frame bag sits in there, there's just not enough room. Just got some flashing light on there. That is a exo rail, an Alvechurch exo rail, so when I put a big saddle bag on there, it keeps it steady. Change the saddle to my trusty old Giant Defy saddle because it's lovely and soft, and it's one I got off eBay. I love them. Not really done much to the rear apart from put the spacer behind the cassette that Plant X should have done in the first place. So the 1.85mm spacer They didn't put it on there. And I couldn't work out why when I was changing between wheels I always had to re-index quite a lot. Now I don't have to. So yeah, that's it. And they've like starting off and clipping in directly onto steps or big bumps down there like that. Just you haven't really got full control of the bike yet. But I couldn't be bothered to turn around and go back up for a bit. Coming up to the always lovely Alvechurch Marina. If you haven't done a holiday or a trip or a short break or anything on a canal boat, it's definitely worth trying. They're great fun, and good ones like these, they're really well equipped, very comfortable, and you get to just cruise the canals. Lovely. Running lower pressure on tubeless is lovely. It just dulls everything out, and the sound is just it's like this dull thump, 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 like the kind of sound you get from flat tyres on cars. But on this, it's just you get it when you hit like a sharp stone or something. And you don't really feel like you're losing any speed. So tubeless wide low pressure is definitely the future. To me is the Wasthill, and that's where I've got to leave the canal, go for a couple of miles over the top. Drove a canal boat. Do you drive a canal boat? You don't sail it, so it must be. But I steered it and operated the throttle as well. So through the Wasthill Tunnel, which we're just coming up to, and it's basically an hour and a half of darkness, very narrow tunnel, where you're just constantly concentrating for the entire time, but not to bounce off the walls. And it is quite tiring, but you know, it's you find until you get relaxed and you think, oh yeah, I can do this, and then before you know it, you're starting to really crab one way and you're like, oh no. Great fun though. Wasthill Tunnel, and off I go. Spooky. I always like this feature on the cycling computers. See how far you were up the hill. You know what? I expected that to be longer and harder than it was. So it looks like I'm pretty much at the top. whatever area that was, I can't remember, but over the Wasthill Tunnel, back down onto the other side. A little bit confusing. Now I think I'm heading towards Selly Oak. It should be fairly good surface now all the way into the city centre. 5.5 miles into Birmingham. Train station. That must be the factory just behind me. Oh yeah, Cadbury right over there. Here we are at Selly Oak. All this area not long being redeveloped. Strange feeling going over the aqueduct there. This is lovely and flat, picturesque, but my god, it's busy. I don't really know where I am, but it's quite impressive architecture around here. Wasthill Tunnel. I can see the big buildings in front of me. Means I should be getting fairly close. Okay. It is a lovely route, it's just really busy. It takes a lot of concentration because the path isn't especially wide. Do this on a sunny weekday, it'd be lovely. I'm just going underneath 5 ways. Gas Street Basin there, and looks a bit different now to when the Peaky Blinders were there. So on the way back now, it's going to be even busier than before around University and Selly Oak. through Selly Oak. Didn't take long to get back here. Still flat, straight. Don't like geese anymore. Bournville, famous Cadbury's chocolate factory. Wow, I can smell dairy milks. Top of Wasthill now. I managed to pick my way through the concrete jungle. Wow, even at 35 psi, these just roll so smooth over tarmac. Creepy old house. There it is. And quite a steep downhill I'm looking up. Not very far from Alvechurch Marina, which means they're not very far from the Alvechurch Tunnel. Then I'm back onto the Tardebigge Locks down, so not too far back to Bromsgrove now. This is Wasthill Reservoir on the right hand side. Never got all the way up here in one go before. The surface is about as good as it's ever been. One more. I'm just going to try and pick my way through that bit at the top. So I think the right hand side's my best bet. Oh, no. Lost traction. This bit's kind of tough as well, but it's doable. Probably just a mile or so away from home now. And I was going to say again, they're incredible gravel bikes are, because the amount of ground I've made up over all of this rough surface, some real speed. The bike just eats it up. Right behind.